Good day everyone. It is an honor to stand before you today to explore a question that lies at the very heart of our shared intellectual journey. How do our ideas about truth, progress, and morality evolve as humanity itself changes? The story of ideology is, in many ways, the story of civilization. From faith to reason, from certainty to skepticism, and now to a renewed search for balance. Ideology has guided how we understand the world and our place within it. Today, I will take you through this fascinating evolution, from modernism to postmodernism, and finally, to the emerging spirit of metamodernism. Ideology can be understood as a system of beliefs, values, and ideas that shape the way individuals and societies interpret the world. It is the invisible architecture of thought, the lens through which we define truth, justice, and progress. Throughout history, ideologies have shifted in response to humanity's changing circumstances. The medieval world was bound by religious dogma. The modern era celebrated science and rationality. The postmodern age dismantled certainty with doubt, and today, we stand at the threshold of a new synthesis, what many call metamodernism. Each phase represents not only an intellectual transformation, but also a moral and emotional one. Modernism arose during the Enlightenment, a period that placed its faith in human reason, logic, and progress. It was an age of light after centuries of darkness, when thinkers like René Descartes, Immanuel Kant, and Auguste Comte sought to replace superstition with science, and chaos with order. Descartes' famous declaration, "I think, therefore I am," epitomized the modern faith in rational self-awareness. Kant taught us the moral dignity of reason and autonomy, that to be rational is to be free. Kant, through positivism, proclaimed science as the only legitimate path to truth. Under modernism, humanity achieved extraordinary advances, secular governance, industrial growth, democratic ideals. Yet, for all its progress, modernism carried a shadow, an overconfidence in absolute truth, a tendency to silence ambiguity and complexity. The same reason that built cathedrals of knowledge also forged weapons of destruction. By the 20th century, the modernist dream began to fracture. Two world wars, economic inequality, and disillusionment with progress led thinkers to question whether rationality had truly improved the human condition. Postmodernism arose as a challenge to the modernist faith in certainty. It argued that truth is not discovered but constructed, shaped by culture, language, and power. Thomas Kuhn spoke of paradigm shifts, showing that even science is bound by historical context. Michel Foucault revealed how knowledge serves authority, and Jacques Derrida, through deconstruction, showed how meaning itself is unstable, how every text hides its own contradictions. In art and literature, postmodernism celebrated pluralism, irony, and playfulness. It refused to trust grand narratives, those sweeping stories that claim to explain everything. Instead, it embraced diversity, uncertainty, and subjectivity. Yet, while liberating, postmodernism also left us adrift. When every truth is relative, when every perspective is valid, what remains to hold us together? At the heart of postmodern thought lies relativism, the idea that truth, morality, and meaning depend on perspective. Cultural relativism reminds us that societies differ in values. Moral relativism suggests that no universal standard can judge right from wrong. Epistemological relativism goes further still, questioning whether objective knowledge exists at all. Relativism fosters tolerance and open-mindedness. Yet it also raises a profound dilemma. If every belief is equally valid, how do we decide between justice and injustice, freedom and oppression, truth and falsehood? This paradox sits at the center of our modern discourse, from political polarization to moral confusion in the digital age. In recent years, a new sensibility has begun to emerge, metamodernism, a worldview that seeks to transcend the polarization between modernist certainty and postmodern doubt. Metamodernism accepts that there is no final truth, yet it refuses to surrender to cynicism. It moves between opposites, between sincerity and irony, hope and despair, faith and skepticism. Metamodernism is not about choosing sides, but about learning to oscillate gracefully between them. It reflects a generation that is painfully aware of humanity's failures, yet still believes in the possibility of meaning. In a world of endless information, metamodernism invites us to rediscover humility, empathy, and purpose. It tells us we may never know everything, but we can still act as if what we do matters. The legacy of postmodern relativism is visible in our politics, culture, and economy. On one hand, it has encouraged diversity. human rights, and creative freedom. On the other, it has contributed to polarization, misinformation, and what scholars now call the post-truth era. Sociologist Daniel Bell, in The Cultural Contradictions of Capitalism, observed that modern capitalism promotes self-interest and consumerism, eroding the moral foundations that once held societies together. Meanwhile, digital technology amplifies opinions faster than truths, leaving people uncertain about what to believe. In this climate, many have turned again to religion, tradition, and community as anchors of stability. In Malaysia, for example, Islamic values continue to guide public life, offering moral clarity amid the turbulence of modernization. This return to faith does not reject progress, it complements it, reminding us that reason must be grounded in ethics. So where does ideology go from here? Perhaps the answer lies in embracing the meta-modern spirit, the capacity to hold contradictions without despair. Humanity's task is no longer to choose between faith and reason, but to weave them together in dialogue. In the modern world, we celebrate technology and innovation. But in the meta-modern world, we also rediscover compassion and humility. We accept that truth is complex, yet we keep searching for it. We admit that our systems are flawed, yet we continue to build them. In Malaysia and across the globe, this synthesis is already visible. Skyscrapers rise beside temples and mosques. Digital innovation coexists with ancient rituals. It is not a contradiction, it is coexistence, a living metaphor for meta-modernism itself. Ultimately, the evolution of ideology reminds us of one timeless truth. Human beings are meaning-seeking creatures. Whether through science, religion, or art, we are forever trying to make sense of a world that refuses to stand still. As we move forward, may we think critically like the moderns, question courageously like the postmoderns, and hope sincerely like the meta-moderns. Because the future does not belong to those who claim to know everything, but to those humble enough to keep learning, believing, and creating meaning in the face of uncertainty. Thank you.